I just felt like it would have been appropriate to play something like Guns N' Roses before this, but I do not want to get demonetized over here. But, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spoiler City once again. I'm very excited to welcome back both Zack Milne and Ben James over here on the pod. We got a lot to discuss, my friends. But first of all, I'll start with Zack. How you guys doing? How you guys holding up with everything going on?
Doing well. Yeah, it's inflation's crazy. But
Ooh, yeah.
overall, we're doing all right.
I was talking to and Ben is probably aware of this because we worked at a movie theater, fresh out of high school. I was talking to an employee over there because I went and saw Nope a second time last night, and he he sold a small popcorn to the person in front of me, and he said the price was like $7 now, and I'm like, what? What?
Wow.
When I worked there, I ran that popcorn. I'd be like, listen, your medium, 75 cents large. All right.
Yeah.
75 cent difference. Look at the difference here. Okay. I was the upseller, dude. That's why I got promoted. They're like, that's Popcorn Ben. I was like, yes, sir.
Popcorn Ben. It was like $5.25 when we worked there for a small, but
yeah, it was like so a small was like $5.75. When we started, it was like $4.75. It went up to $5.75.
Jeez.
Inflation everywhere, dude. Me and my girlfriend, every time we drive over the hill, there's this avocado stand. And we know inflation's bad because when we first saw it, it was 10 avocados for $1. Today, 6 avocados. That's 4 avocados missing. So inflation's bad right now.
It's only half a dozen. We need my extra half dozen, But
it's a lot of avocados.
Right now, man.
Yeah, but other than the inflation, Ben, how are you holding up with all this Marvel stuff going on? We got Hall H later tonight. There's going to be a lot.
It's a lot. I know that Disney didn't they say like Disney's going to hold a lot of their stuff for like D23 or like their little convention? That's what I heard. But I might be wrong.
Yeah, rumors, but Disney didn't come out and say that. But people are like speculating.
I think what they're going to do though is because you guys know Deadpool and Logan is on Disney Plus now, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of their hint to like, hey, yo, we got it figured out what we're doing with that.
Can I spoil the fun real quick?
Go ahead.
That's not a big deal to me at all because we've had Deadpool and Logan on our Disney Plus in Canada for the past year.
There you go. There you go.
So I don't know how much
Canada.
you should buy into
first the free healthcare, now this. Oh man. Gosh.
Oh, yikes.
Freaking
it's gonna be one of those streams. It's gonna be one of those streams. But
no, okay, well, yeah, I might be overthinking it then, but I just honestly I'm excited to have this because I love Logan and I saw Deadpool 1 4 times opening night. Like we had an employee showing, we had 2 employee showings. Yeah, it was nuts. At 3, I over exaggerate. So I saw it with my friends. Then we had an employee showing at 10, and then we had another employee showing after closing in D-Box. So I was just like, oh, dude. So I sent it, and I loved it. It's such a great movie. And the second one's really good as well. Logan is a fantastic film. So I'm glad to have those on there. But, yeah, I'm hoping we get some big announcements. I saw we already got the Shazam trailer, which I'm waiting to watch, and a couple of DC stuff. I just want to go away from Marvel. I just want Henry Cavill as Superman. But,
Yeah. Well, I guess so. I don't want to spoil the fun, and I don't want to go too much into Hall H. Maybe I'll save that for another live stream. But I did see that they did release the Shazam 2 trailer, which is coming out December 21st, and I'm very excited to watch that because I really like the first one. And I did see that Dwayne Johnson made, no pun intended, a very electrifying entrance in costume as Black Adam for that panel. And I believe they released the final trailer for Black Adam at Hall H, but
really?
No word on Henry Cavill as Superman. I think people are I don't want to say people are getting their hopes up, but I mean, I'll believe it when I see it, but
well, that panel's done now, right? The DC stuff is done.
Yep, the DC stuff is done. They're talking about Game of Thrones right now. So
that's it. We just got the Shazam and Black Adam.
Yeah,
there was probably some stuff about the Flash, but they took that out.
Yeah, probably not too soon, but probably some stuff about Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom or whatever it's called too. But
I was confident that they were going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, so to speak, and bring Michael Keaton out to promote Batman and the Flash, and also promote Batgirl and say that it was going to go theatrical. Like I was pretty confident that they were going to do that, but nothing, huh?
Yeah,
I just feel like right now they're walking on eggshells with Aquaman and the Flash kind of like in tight corners with like Amber Heard and Ezra Miller, so it's like kind of a weird space. They're just trying to get everyone hyped for Black Adam, you know?
Yeah. They're kind of in some hot water right now. They've got 2 big projects coming out. I know people were expecting a Blue Beetle first look with the kid from
that just
Cobra
wrapped
Kai,
filming,
but it did. But I don't know. I mean, Hall H, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on, but I mean, we got some bigger fish to fry here, my friends. We just had 2 big Marvel projects, come out one after the other. And we've had a couple of weeks to digest everything that went down. And there were some huge reveals, especially in the TV offering that we got towards the end. But folks, if you're watching the replay, if you're watching the live stream, thank you so much. We've already got a few people in the chat. I see you, Luke Ponto. You're the man. Thank you so much for stopping by. Of course.
Luke.
Ready to talk some Marvel with you as well, my friend. It's always a good time over here. Hit that thumbs up as well. That would be especially helpful to continue to grow this community over here. But, well, folks, I think we should just get right into it.
Let's do it.
So Thor: Love and Thunder is out in theaters right now. It's not making nearly as much as it should. The Minions is making more than it, egregiously. But it's Love and Thunder is a great movie, guys. I'll start with you, Ben. What did you think of this film? Do you think it was better than Ragnarok, or do you think it's kind of up there?
Yeah, 100% better than Ragnarok. And my argument stays that I think this, because when I saw Ragnarok, I loved it because it was in the midst of just like Marvel just putting out nothing but bangers, right? But the thing I didn't like about it, and especially after rewatching it after Infinity War came out, is you go from Ragnarok to then such a switch in character to how Thor is in Infinity War. And it kind of was like, man, feels weird, and because he's all goofy and stuff like that. And then you have a big thing happen in the after credit scene. It was just tonally all over the place. And I feel like in Thor: Love and Thunder, the more serious parts hit a lot deeper because of it's just done more correctly. Jane's arc is done perfectly. I think I really liked how they did her story. I don't want to spoil anything if we're not in spoilers or anything, but her whole arc was nuts. And honestly, like Chris Hemsworth, I'm glad he has the long hair back. Looks great, and I think he's having the most fun with the role. And a lot of people complained about Guardians not being in it as much as they wanted. I think they were in it the perfect amount. I'm glad they didn't do the trope of, they show up at the end and help in the final battle. Because I feel like Thor's past that. This is the most we've seen from a character in the MCU. He's on his 4th movie. No other character has gotten that many debuts. And I think down the road that might change because we have shows and stuff like that. So like other characters who have had their shows might get like Falcon, all that stuff, like now that he's Captain America. But like I just think right now like it should be like, he can handle this on his own. Like Gore's a very intimidating villain, but he has so much knowledge now since we've seen him since Thor the first one, but I loved it. I think Taika, he's nuts, man. I just love everything he does.
He's nuts.
And he's nuts, mate. Yeah,
he's absolutely nuts. I mean, and you touched on a lot of great points. And by the way, folks, I don't want anybody to worry about us spoiling stuff, because that's what Spoiler City is all about. And we're gonna get way deep into it for sure. Good. But I will also tell you guys, Zach, Ben touched on a great point here. The Guardians of the Galaxy were heavily promoted in these trailers, and I know a bunch of the hardcore Guardians fans like me were very hopeful that it was going to be some big team-up movie or whatever. But at the end of the day, I feel like they were in it the perfect amount, because, spoiler alert, y'all, they disappear pretty much from the movie after the first act. And I love how they did it, too. When Thor was like, the know-it-all, like, surfer type, he was like, you take care of my people, you take care of my ship, and all that stuff. But it's you take care of my people. It was just so funny. It was so great. And I don't know. I mean, the Guardians certainly had a presence, Zach, but not nearly as much as people were expecting, I'm sure. But they got to remember, this is a Thor movie. This is Thor, first and foremost.
I mean, I think that's fair to say, seeing how I think only Star-Lord, Rocket Raccoon, and Groot were allowed to speak. I mean, I saw Drax, but I didn't hear Drax. I don't know. Did we hear Mantis speak? I feel like
She
she might
made
have
a
said
noise.
something.
No, Drax was
She did like a
Drax
growl.
Drax was talking when the annoying goats were there, which is something else
Was
we'll
he?
certainly talk about, I'm sure.
See,
Yeah, no,
that's how little they're in the movie. I don't remember all their scenes. It was a
Yeah.
very fast blink and you miss them kind of thing, but they were in it a good amount. I do wish we got a little bit more. I think it would have been cool if they came back in at the end, but the movie that it didn't require them to.
Yeah. Well,
So
the
I can
big
see
crux of
why.
it was Thor and Star-Lord and their macho one-upsmanship, and that was a great opening as well with the great opening sequence where the Guardians are just like, "Hey, we need your help to win this battle." And Thor just comes in and just cleans house of all these aliens with "Welcome to the Jungle" playing in the background. They weren't
That
even
was so
aliens.
great.
They weren't even aliens. Zach, I don't know about you. They kind of reminded me of like little Ewoks from Return of the
Oh,
Jedi.
yeah, I got strong Star Wars vibes from those costumes and the Brad Skull
I
effect.
was like, what are the Ewoks doing on this palace? You know, but yeah, no, great music, great
Yeah.
soundtrack, great opening for sure.
But going back to the whole Star-Lord part, I do like that Star-Lord was used to be the one to encourage Thor to love again.
Yep.
I thought that was a
Because
good character to use for that. I really liked
Oh yeah,
that kind of
100%.
relationship they had. It felt like it really evolved from where we left off with Endgame, with them kind of one-upping each other. Did we lose Ben? Oh.
Yeah. You know, Ben looks like Ben is having some technical stuff going on, but what we have here, yeah, I mean, I'm sure, yeah, he'll be back. He'll be back. But Star-Lord, I mean, he was the one who was, you know, distempered in Infinity War. He was doing that stuff all out of love. Like he heard that Thanos had thrown Gamora off that cliff or whatever, and he just loses it, and he kind of ruins it for everybody, all out of his love for Gamora.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that he was basically, you know, the one to tell Thor, you know, you kind of need some love back in your life again. That's it's great, absolutely great.
What is he? He says, find someone who makes you feel like crap or something. Like
Find someone who makes you feel shitty.
That was really funny. I like
that. And then it all comes full circle when he does reveal his feelings to the mighty Thor, to Jane Foster, and he's like, I want to feel shitty again.
Yes.
So good. So good. It was such a great arc, and she was just so flustered and confused by it. It was just pitch perfect. Pitch perfect.
It was great.
Luke says Thor Love and Thunder is really good. Nowhere near Ragnarok for him, though. Which, I mean, not surprising. Luke did say that's his favorite Marvel movie of all time. So kind of hard to top that.
I'm on the same page there, though. I like Ragnarok more.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are saying, but I feel like Ben and I both are in the minority here.
But like I said, though, like, I think I actually said this before we went live. Ragnarok and Love and Thunder are two different movies to me. Like with Love and Thunder, I mean, first of all, when it starts off with Gore and he's got his daughter and she's dying, I was like, wow, this is like really emotional. Like this is gonna be a heavy movie, maybe. And then the first scene of Thor is him riding Stormbreaker like the Wicked Witch of the West off a cliff.
Yes.
And when that happens,
on that, like meditating with Stormbreaker buried in all that, and then he like rides up. What are you guys waiting for?
Yes, when that happened, my brain adjusted and I was like, oh, this is gonna be a screwball comedy. Like this is not going to be that serious of a movie. It's just going to be and I was able to adjust to this is a comedy first and foremost. Where I feel like Ragnarok had a lot of comedy in it, but it was a pretty serious story with the destruction of Asgard and Hela and all that stuff. I think it played a little bit more straight at times than Love and Thunder did.
Oh, totally. It almost made me. I'm kind of. I don't want to say I'm sad that we didn't get the big Thor Bowski in this one. Like it was very, very minimal. We
2
only
seconds of it.
2 seconds of Fat Thor in there, and then he's back. As Cork says, he went from dead bod to god bod.
Yes.
You know, what did you think of Korg being the one to relate all these legends and be kind of your narrator?
I liked it fine when I watched it in the theater. But what I found online was a theory that I actually really liked too, because the movie's kind of outlandish and seems a little bombastic and stuff like that sometimes, right? Like just really crazy. Like Thor does the split kicks to hold the ships back at one point. I heard this theory online that Korg telling the story is him embellishing all that stuff to the kids because it's the narrator's point of view, and that's how Korg is telling the story, and that's why it's so outlandish at times.
So Korg is kind of an unreliable narrator then.
Exactly. Yeah, I kind of liked that theory, but in the movie itself, I thought it worked pretty fine. I thought it was it added a lot of comedic elements to the story as well.
Oh yeah, because it certainly felt like whatchamacallit, when Jane Foster is introduced as the mighty Thor, and then when Thor first comes across her, it really pretty much cuts into a gigantic montage flashback. Let me tell you the legend of Thor and Jane.
Exactly. I loved it.
It was so embellished. Like, it just felt like I had never seen the scenes of those two in the restaurant, like in either of the first two Thor movies ever. I had never seen them have any relationship issues in Thor or Thor the Dark World. Never.
Yeah.
It was so bizarre. But
it was just like gooey-eyed, head over heels for him the whole time. They didn't really have much depth to their relationship in the previous movies.
Which is ironic because like it feels to me like there was more depth in Thor and Jane than any other Thor movie ever. I mean, Ragnarok he certainly has a lot of depth, and it's more centered around like his family and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's all centered around the relationship with his father and the relationship with his brother. Doesn't really focus much on his romantic life. Kind of shoves Jane Foster to the side. And this time around, Taika certainly got it right. Got it right.
And that's the thing with Ragnarok too, is it has more elements of like a Shakespearean family drama than Love and Thunder does as well. Like I just see them as completely different movies.
Yeah, speaking of Shakespearean, Luke did mention the stage performance scene once again with Matt Damon and Sam Neill returning. And Luke Hemsworth, Chris's brother, coming in to play Thor.
Yeah.
But now we have Melissa McCarthy coming into the picture as Hela. It was so weird. And then we actually do get yeah, it was a fun surprise. And then I was very, very shocked that we got like some more smaller scenes with Matt Damon spliced like in between. Like when Valkyrie is first trying to deal with the trauma of the kids being kidnapped and all that. Matt Damon and his actor friend are like, hey, I think the people need entertainment. I think that's, and then like Valkyrie is just like having none of it. And then they don't even think twice. They're like, okay, act one, curtain goes up.
Which, if you want to get like a little bit deeper into that, is kind of a commentary on Hollywood and stuff like that. Because as soon as a tragedy happens, what do? Got to make a movie about it.
Oh yeah,
got to turn it into entertainment.
Yeah, it's kind of a comment. Yeah, go ahead, Ben.
No, you could, because it kind of makes me think of the Boston Massacre movie with Mark Wahlberg, and like that was kind of like, that one was like, just it's crazy,
I think it was Patriots Day is what it was.
Yes. And I feel like the windows get. Oh, my stuff is glitching. Oh my god,
what is happening?
I'm glitching. I'm sorry. Yeah, but continue, Zach.
Oh no! I was just saying. Yeah, no. Zach makes a really good point about how it's more so like a commentary on Hollywood and to an extent of Broadway too, because there's a lot of like. I mean, stage musicals these days, like they tend to be either already famous movies, like Beetlejuice is starting to tour around the world. I mean, I'm in a production of School of Rock right now, so I mean, there's a lot of Broadway productions that are based on famous films, but there's also a lot of Broadway productions that they basically become like, oh, their dramas about like real life and all that stuff. And I think they portrayed that. I think they portrayed that really, really well with Matt Damon and everything like that. But in any case, got to say what's up also to Adrian in the comments. There's two Zacks and a Ben in there. That's awesome. That's just how this one works for sure. Jovan, what's up? He said the soundtrack was fire earlier, which I definitely agree with. Definitely has more of a balance between comedy and drama. And I'm sure, Ben, that's probably why you liked this movie more than Ragnarok too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. I loved it because of that reason.
Oh yeah, for sure. So Luke also mentions in the comments, we're kind of jumping around a little bit, but but we also have to talk about Gore the God Butcher. In my opinion, top 5 MCU villain, if not top 3. After rewatching it, I was like, this guy is just so damn compelling. And Zach, I don't know if you can attest to this, but I think Christian Bale was perfect for this.
Fantastic. He's the one thing I think that this movie has over Ragnarok. He was a much better villain. Much more interesting villain, much more compelling villain. His performance was unsettling, creepy. It was everything it needed to be, and it was awesome. I do wish we got a little bit more of him, but what we did get, I mean, we got a lot of him, but I'm just selfish. I wanted more. It was just so good. But what we got was pretty awesome.
He's like another Daniel Day-Lewis right now. He just gets so into his roles all the time. And I feel like Ben is the master of like gaining and losing weight for certain roles.
Dude,
like,
he's nuts.
He'll bulk up for the Batman, and then he'll lose a bunch of weight and become gangly for this role.
Yeah, bro. He was huge in the Batman, and then he lost that weight, and then was like super scrawny, like dangerously scrawny. He's like one of the few where the method acting, I feel like he doesn't go too far. Yes, he's had like outbursts, but like I feel like he's shown that it can work, and he's kind of the example, but Jared Leto is not, but like he's the one example where I'm like, okay, method acting can work.
I did not think that name was going to come up during this.
It's Morbin time, baby.
Ben is trying to piss me off now. So, but no, Adrian also says that he kind of gave Gore kind of gave him a Thanos vibe. I think it's a little bit different. I mean, it's a more tragic backstory. It's very, very similar to Thanos in that way. He has the daughter and everything like that. His daughter passed away. And he basically is like, oh, this god that I'm worshiping took my daughter away from me, so now I have to kill him. Which, by the way, that was my nitpick that I talked about in my spoiler-free review. I don't know what the hell they were doing there. It just felt like an actor's head on top of a CGI body. And I'm like,
that first like sun god or whatever he was.
Yeah. I was like, why'd you have to do it that way? It just looks fake.
It
kind of reminded me of the gods of Egypt.
Oh god.
Remember that one? Yeah.
God, that movie sucks.
It looked kind of like one of Jim Carrey's Christmas Carol future past.
Oh god, no! It looks like Robert Zemeckis motion capture style.
That's the one. Yes.
Yep. It's almost like it's almost like a character that Seth Rogen made fun of in Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers.
Great movie.
It's phenomenal. But yeah, this god that Gore butchers literally at the beginning looks so bad. It looks so fake. But
there were a couple moments where the effects I felt were a little warm, like when we see baby Thor during the montage, and they had that CGI baby like that. Weird. That felt like something from the early 2000s to me. It was so creepy. Weird. It was so creepy.
Was so weird. No, but it was like a baby Thor just in the whatchamacallit, the carrier, I guess you could say. And he's on the battlefield with the hammer and everything like that. And Ben, we were talking about Korg being the one to narrate all the legends. Yeah. Did you think that was a good choice?
Yeah, 100%. Hey guys, Korg go to narrate. Like, it's just like, dude, I love him, and it like whenever he's on screen, I just everything he does is just amazing.
yeah, for sure. But while you were away for a minute, Zach made a great point about how Korg might like embellish a lot of things, like the romance between Thor and Jane and everything like that. It just felt so exaggerated compared to their connection in the first 2 Thor films.
Yeah, I think she in the first Thor, I felt that same type of thing, right? Like with them kind of like being really into each other. Second Thor, I mean, for reasons outside of the film, not as much. But yeah, that could be. It's kind of like the unreliable narrative, or the narrator, and I like that idea 100%. I don't know if it's works for this film, but I mean, I think it could be.
Could be certainly. Yeah, I mean, Korg, like, it just felt to me like a perfect way to divide up the 3-act structure as well. Because first act, he tells the story of Thor, and then towards not the halfway point, like around the inciting incident, he tells the legend of Thor and Jane, and then to bridge the gap at the end when Jane dies, he tells the story of the legend of Jane Foster and everything like that, which is a really nice way to. The legend of Jane Fonda.
Yeah,
Jane Foster. Did you say Jodie Foster at one point too? I
said Jodie Foster. Yeah, during the big battle in the new Asgardian village, there, I was like, Jodie Foster. Could you imagine? Like Jodie Foster. I feel like to me, Jodie Foster would be a perfect like choice for this role, like in the 90s. Like shortly after Silence of the Lambs, that the MCU came around, like in the 90s.
I can see that.
Like,
yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Oh, she would totally fit right in.
Have you guys talked about the Stormbreaker? And that whole, like, oh my god, that was
not exactly. And Zack is laughing his ass off already.
It was one of my favorite parts of the movie. It's like giving Stormbreaker a personality and the whole jealous thing. Like, nah, is it weird having my old? Like, it's just my old weapon. Nah, and like, and then when he's holding Zeus's lightning bolt, he's so powerful. And then the bolt glitches. Great weapon for you because I already have a weapon.
I think it's time for you to have your first drink.
It was really funny. Like it was some of the funniest stuff.
Yeah,
but it was also confusing because I was like, is Stormbreaker sentient now?
I think it's like a different type of weapon than Milne, because Milne like. I think Milne was kind of sentient too, because he says, "Oh, the reason Jane is able to wield Milne is because of that moment where he's just like, you have to protect her." You know,
which
so I think
he enchanted it like his father did when he was like, you know, he'd be worthy, have the power of Thor and stuff like that. The only thing I could think about with Stormbreaker is the fact that he's made from Groot.
That's
maybe,
a great point.
Maybe that's why he could be sentient.
Maybe
they never really have ever established that.
About that.
So.
Yeah, like teenage Groot gave some of his arm to make Stormbreaker. Yeah, that's a really excellent point. I didn't even think about that.
One sec, I fixed my camera. I'll be right back, boys.
That was just me trying to make sense of it.
It's okay, it's okay. But Ben fixes his camera, but no, that's a good point. It makes it even funnier now because Groot was like, you know, Groot is just like it's the most ridiculous part of the Guardians movies easily, and then it's like, you know, he like sacrifices part of his arm to make Stormbreaker for Thor. It makes all the sense in the world that Stormbreaker would have a personality now. I love this just speaks volumes to how good Taika Waititi is as a director and how well this film is actually edited. My buddy, Let's Be Real with Brad over here on YouTube actually said this movie was poorly edited. I can see certain elements of the movie that were, you know, not up to snuff, but I can't help but disagree with him. I think the framing of certain scenes was outstanding, and to add to the comedic timing, you have Thor just staring off at Jane, just the axe sneaking into the frame like this. Like,
yes,
that got the biggest laugh when I saw it the first time. It was so fun,
great,
absolutely fun. What do you think of?
Too,
go ahead, Zach.
It's a comedy, right?
Yeah.
So it's staged differently than other, like, it's not a Marvel epic, so to speak. Like it really is just at its base a comedy, like a screwball romantic comedy. So
it's a romantic comedy.
Things are framed for that.
Exactly. Yeah. Speaking of comedy, Luke mentions that he loves Russell Crowe in here as Zeus. I mean, I don't know what the fuck accent he was using, but other than that, I mean, he was fun. That's a Gods of Egypt performance right there, Zach.
I haven't seen that movie since when did that come out? 2007? It feels like
no, it can't have been. I think it was like 2016.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it seems so much longer than that.
Feels like a mid-2000s style of movie, though. Like a style of action movie where it thinks it's like the best freaking thing of all time. But what's up, Ben? He's referencing Gods of Egypt now. Oh, hello.
Shut up, Mike. I will fix it. There we go.
Gosh. Yeah, Zeus I thought was funny too. I like I didn't really care for like what he was gonna be. Like I know people were like upset that they went all goofy with him because I guess the character is supposed to be, more serious or something than that.
Yeah.
But this was my introduction to him. It was a comedy. It worked for the comedy. I thought it was funny.
I think
So
what would
the
be
top,
nice
though.
is if they tonally switch, because I can kind of get that in the after credits scene, but they tonally shift his character a bit where he's way more scary and aggressive now, because it's like, he's never been challenged because he's just been Zeus. No one's been challenging him. Now he's upset, dude. I think that'd be sick.
You know what this is, though, guys? Like, thinking more and more about it after seeing the movie twice, do the gods really need to be in this movie? Like, in the grand scheme of things, I mean, they have the lightning bolt and everything like that, but that whole storyline just screams gold people gimmick from Guardians 2. Like, that whole first act sequence where they have, like, the people painted in gold and the...
But
like,
gold people actually were important in that because, one, they show up at the end to create more tension, and two, Adam Warlock.
Yeah,
So
right, exactly. Yeah, that was to introduce Adam Warlock, and to kind of play into that, the mid-credits scene is Russell Crowe in there with a couple of his female escorts or something like that, whatever they are, and they're talking about. I don't know if I could say that, but he's just sitting there with the girls, and he's like talking about how he's going to destroy the gods from within with his son Hercules, who's played by a dude from Ted Lasso,
Roy Kent.
Yeah, I know Zack was pumped to see that.
I was,
man.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just like it feels very eerily parallel and similar to Adam Warlock's introduction into this universe. I don't know about you guys.
Cocoon?
What's that?
I still haven't seen him. He's just
still haven't
Cocoon.
Apparently, he might be in the holiday, the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday.
I hope so.
Yeah.
He better show up before Volume 3.
Just to establish something,
I mean, they don't have a whole lot of more time before Guardians comes out in May. So, I mean, if he's going to be the villain, they got to establish it. But in any case, got to say what's up to Ryan O'Toole in the chat right there. Hope you're doing well, my friend.
Hey,
Jovan talking about the mid-credit scene, Zeus and Hercules didn't fill me with any fear or excitement.
They showed him. They didn't show him for that long. They just were like Hercules, and it was 2 seconds, and he was gone.
Yeah,
I mean, they should have held it a little bit more.
Russell Crowe was in there mainly to be like, he's throwing like a bunch of like Gladiator references in there, like throwing his arms up, very similar to how he would as Maximus, which is a movie I love, and I couldn't help but notice that those little ticks that he had. But I mean, he's in there mainly to just talk about how they're not invited to the orgy and everything like that. And I'm like, this is so weird.
To the orgy.
Well, that whole scene. I mean, that whole scene was just built so we could see Thor naked.
Which
that was the reason for it.
Yo, homie's cut. All right, the tattoo was great too. The R.I.P. Loki.
R.I.P. Look at the tattoo.
He doesn't know.
I couldn't get past the moon.
He still doesn't know that his brother's still out there somewhere dealing with the TVA. But it's Russell Crowe is really funny. Korg had a lot of great moments in here.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that all of his species are men too.
That was funny.
That was a nice little I don't want to say they're retconning everything, but him and his new boyfriend at the end was so sweet.
Dwayne
the
Rock.
Dwayne the Rock Man. Don't think I didn't see what you did there, Taika.
I didn't even think of that. Dwayne the Rock.
Dwayne the Rock, funny. And he has a Johnson somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh.
I like the mustache. Oh,
the mustache. Yeah,
mustache.
Like the.
Yeah.
This is clearly a very funny movie for sure for a lot of people.
Yeah. No, it's true. No, every movie just with Thor has a shirtless scene. Me and my girlfriend were talking about it, Jova. Every single dude, there was not a single movie where Thor's in it where his shirt is not off. And it was funny because me and her were expecting it in Endgame, and then you see it and he's fat, and it was just great.
It's true.
Yeah.
I don't think since Deadpool I've seen so much of a superhero's body on screen.
Oh, yeah. It was more of Thor than I wanted to see. That's for sure. I'm sure he satisfied a bunch of other people, but I mean, personally, not. I mean, it's there. The more I think about Thor,
gag in my household.
The more I think about Thor: Love and Thunder, the more I don't like it. The comedy didn't work for me, and I wanted more gore. Yeah, I mean, we talked a little bit about gore earlier, and I think our one nitpick, consensus-wise, is that we wish there were more scenes of him. But I think overall, Ben, this is a much better villain than Cate Blanchett was, and she was a badass in Ragnarok.
But her character suffered from she wanted to be taken serious, but like just the way she delivered the lines, it was more comedic. Gore doesn't have a comedic bone in his body, and that's why I feel like he's a better villain because she's walking around and she's like, oh, throws the breaks the thing, and like I love her and I think she did good with the character, but like that was kind of like where I was like, okay, wait, is this serious? What's going on here? I honestly think because there was like a thing on TikTok where it's like, oh, does Thor have the better characters? I think Ragnarok has the better characters. Overall, the characters in that, Loki, Valkyrie, what's his name? The guy, Jeff Goldblum, his character, Hulk.
I think the Grandmaster.
Yeah, like that overall has a better cast, but I feel like it didn't know it was because it was breaking out into new ground, right? It's a complete tonal shift from Thor Dark World to Thor Ragnarok. And now I think Taika has it locked down and kind of knows how to structure it. And I really liked how they addressed that he's super overpowered too. Like he's just chilling and waiting for them to beg him to like come and save the day, and then it was cool to then see that challenged by Gore, but he's still super powerful. Like they make it clear, like this homie's nuts. Yeah,
Thor, we need your help to win this battle.
He hops on the broom. He hops on the thing. He's like,
"Yep." Like Zack was talking about that, the Wicked Witch sequence, where he just hops on the broomstick, if you will. But guys. Ben, I totally agree with you. I mean, stronger characters all around. Hela's a cool looking character. She had a cool design and everything, but her motivation and her objective really wasn't all that strong, admittedly. And like her reasoning behind it was very simplistic. Gore had so many layers to him, literally and figuratively speaking. But overall, though, I think the most captivating character for me was Jane Foster, the Mighty Thor. And big spoiler alert: Jane Foster's got cancer, guys, and she's in chemo. And Kat Dennings comes in. Darcy comes in, which got me.
Saw her in WandaVision.
A huge pop from me after loving her so much in WandaVision, and she was so funny coming in with like all the funnies and everything like that, and that just like that sets the stage that this is going to be an emotional ride. And Natalie Portman was so good in Thor: Love and Thunder.
Good, man.
Oh, this is the best. This is the best I've seen her in a while, and she's done a lot of really good stuff, like Black Swan. Like ever since then, V for Vendetta, I think might be her crowning
that's a good one. Yeah.
Her crowning role. But I mean, she was great here, man. And she understood the assignment. For sure.
She was huge. She got yoked, dude. I was like, whoa. As someone that goes to the gym, I was like, yo, I appreciate that. That's nuts. And like it was what's crazy. And the only thing I think they could have done maybe a little bit better. And I understand why they didn't, because they wanted it to narratively kind of you follow the journey, is to have the reveal that because they revealed in the trailer. So I know why they don't like kind of save it as a mystery reveal, because that was kind of like the same thing with Hulk, though. The way in Ragnarok it's set up that you don't know he's in the movie. Because you're like, oh my gosh, but then the trailer ruined that. So I think to avoid that this time, they kind of just revealed it, and they have it in the movie that it's revealed from the beginning and that you followed along. But I would have liked the hammer to be going around and you're like, yo, what's going on? And then she gets it and you're like, yo, no shot.
Or just show her hand reaching up to grab it and catch it. You know what I mean? Like they sort of did a similar thing.
And then it flashes back to her in the like hospital and stuff like that. But that's just me. Yeah.
No, it was, and that's another thing. Like, again, I hate to sound like a broken record, but that's why I don't react to trailers on my channel. Like, because they give so much away, and they give so much of the story away. I remember going in and seeing, I don't remember what it was, but I remember the Lightyear trailer coming in right before that, the final trailer. They give away pretty much the major story beats of the movie, like the whole way through. And I'm like,
That's why I
me,
wanted to do marketing so that I could get into trailer making, because there were so many trailers, especially in like when we were working at the theater, Zach, that spoiled the movie. And I'm just like, you need to know how to structurally make a trailer that isn't going to do that. I'm trying to think of a good one that did a good job recently that doesn't give too much away. But like,
Nope's
you know,
a good
well,
one.
like, no, because they've had 3 different types of trailers that are tonally all over the place. Like in like, yeah, like there was one where it's serious, and maybe he did that on purpose, Jordan, because he's a genius. But there's one where it's serious, and then one where it's like a comedy. It's like, I'm telling you, I'll find the trailer and I'll send it to you, Zach. It's weird.
Interesting. Yeah, I think I've only seen 2 trailers.
Yeah, so it was like, because I've been going to the AMC a lot, and like they play a lot of different variants, and like I was just like, yo, what the heck? And I went with my buddy Riley, who Zach knows, and we look at each other like, this is way different than the trailer we saw earlier. Like, what is this? And maybe he did that on purpose again to throw you off. And I haven't seen Nope yet because I'm waiting for my friends. They want to go on like Wednesday, but like I'm like, dude, oh my gosh, I'm itching because I loved Get Out. Us was okay, and I'm really pumped for this one.
Not to get too off topic, but I think Nope might be my favorite movie of the year. I'm really thinking about it. I've been thinking about it for a while, and I'm like, that might be at the top of my list, you know, because it's so good what Jordan Peele does. But anyway, speaking of directors, someone who's been getting a lot of flack for this movie specifically is Taika Waititi himself, Zach. And I don't really think it's warranted. I would say it's hate more so. I don't get it. I really don't get it, Zach.
I think it's classic, you know, when someone gets so big, when someone gets so, you know, praised and famous, the haters come out for no matter what they do. And I think a majority that I've seen of the hate on Twitter from these people are like, I don't want to like, you know, categorize or anything, but are kind of like Zack Snyder fan of the Justice League. Like comparing his Zeus to this Zeus, even though his Zeus didn't have a single line of dialogue.
A single line. This is the thing right now is it's and this is how I kind of put it in words. Marvel is in the corner in the boxing ring defending themselves, and this is the time the critics, everybody who wants them to not be this unit, are just throwing punches. They're trying to find anything wrong with the movies, anything wrong with the shows, anything to complain about, so they do not dominate at the box office because they are scared. They are scared of what they have done for the last 5 years. So now they're like, hey, let's rally these people together. Yeah, Marvel sucks now. Yo, we want to, CG, and all the CGI people coming out and saying the work conditions. It's like, yo, Marvel's low and they're trying to make it so they can't recover. And so attacking Taika Waititi for his style. But wait, weren't you 2 years ago saying, hey, I'm tired of the Marvel formula. Let the directors do their style. Where's that energy now? You know, so it's so inconsistent, and it's again just people, the critics, everybody just trying to lay into Marvel. Like the critics score when I went into it was like 70% from the critics. I'm like, this is not you're putting this. It was, I think, lower than Dark World, and I'm like, you're putting this lower than Dark World. Are you kidding me?
Egregious.
Are you high? Yeah,
I think it's a little bit different. I think it's a little bit different though because Thor: Love and Thunder is such a comedy. And the comedy is so specific that it's going to be more subjective, I think. Like some people just aren't going to gel with it. Like I think we saw in here Ryan say that the comedy didn't work for him, right?
Yeah.
Whereas for me, I thought it was hilarious. I laughed throughout this thing. So it's also the different perspectives. And I feel
like if you go into, I'm sorry to cut you off. Keep going.
Oh yeah, that's okay, man.
Yeah, no, I'm just like, I feel like that's the case, and not to put Ryan on anything, but I feel like a lot of people, when you go into it with a negative mindset already, you are not going to have a good time. When you look at the Rotten Tomato score and you see it's 70%, and you're going to go and you're going to be like, oh yeah, this is a dog shit movie and I'm not going to have a good time, which is honestly the mindset of a lot of people nowadays, just because the way the world is, right? We're all very negative. You know, I'm very optimistic. So I go into anything and I'm like, yo, I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to find the good things, because then it just makes it a better experience. And
and that's a great point, Ben. You know, for the most part, I am so optimistic. I feel like every movie deserves a chance, unless people are requesting me to review Minions and Paws of Fury, which I'm going to be freaking miserable. You know, like, and that Minions review blew up, guys. Thank you. Thank you for
That's
that.
good.
You know,
Good for
you
bro.
guys made it at least semi worth it for me. But even then, it's also like, you know, I go into like, and I don't understand why people get so excited for so many different things. Thor: Love and Thunder starts, and people are very respectful. There's a couple of polite applauds in there when the, you know, the whatchamacallit, the guitar variant of the MCU intro was going on, and I was like, that was really cool. That was a really cool touch. I loved that. And then freaking the lights go down for Minions when I see it. And this is a theater filled with teenagers mainly.
Mm-hmm.
There was a Marvel Studios Avengers Endgame level pop in that theater. It was loud in that room. I was like, are you serious for this movie?
The meme.
I know.
TikTok
I was
meme
honestly
of it,
kind of relieved when I came out of the theater and went on Twitter and everyone had the same experience. I was like, something's going on, but at least it's not just the water in my town.
Do you guys? Did you guys find out what it was, or did you not know?
It was some meme. It was like this gentle minions.
The
meme
gentle minions, yeah. The gentle minions were there, but it wasn't even. Nobody was dressed up in that theater, really.
Well, because they weren't allowing people in because they stopped. They were having a problem where if you were wearing formal attire, they wouldn't let you in. Yeah, and I actually know the guy who created that meme too, and
weird.
He did not expect it to blow up like that. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. Because I'm big on the TikTok scene, so like I like collab with a lot of people on there and everything. I'm like not big, but like like I'm like on it a lot. And like that's kind of my content that I go to, like, because you guys are killing it on YouTube. And for me, with my move, it's hard for me to put out YouTube. So I've been like, okay, well, let me put out a minute video on TikTok, and that way I can get some content out. But yeah, the people on there are crazy. It's a whole different scene. It's nuts, you guys.
So nuts.
Yeah,
but no. So Taika Waititi.
Can I go back to the negativity just real quick?
Go ahead.
I actually think so when it comes to the I have two things. When it comes to the directors that have come out and spoken against Marvel, I think that's a big just jealousy of their success. I think they're jealous of how big it's gotten, how much money it's making. They're looking at their movies not making as much money. Yeah. They're blaming the big guys for stealing all the money. When it comes to the fans and with the negativity and stuff like that you're seeing, I think it also has to do with the big fact that Phase 4 has been so frustrating for a lot of people because they can't pinpoint where it's going. They don't see this plan. They don't see the big picture, and they're
and I hate
lack
that.
of better words. They're impatient.
I hate that so much. I'm one of those people. If I'm watching a TV show like Ms. Marvel, which we'll still get to, don't worry. Like I don't need the answers right away. I'm along for the ride, and trust me, if anybody's paying attention, I have a lot of friends that are at Hall H right now as we speak. We're gonna get answers. We're gonna get answers, and
but
like it should be.
You want to know what type of fans those are? The ones that joined right when Endgame came out. That's the thing. Yeah. There's an influx of people who joined right when Endgame came out. They were able to binge all the movies and see, hey, there's a direction here. What direction was there in Phase 1 through 4? A couple after credit. Yeah, we knew it was Thanos. We didn't know where it was going. Like, we just knew the big bad. People just want to know the big bad. That makes no sense because then they're locked. It can only be that one person.
At the same time, they went into Love and Thunder like, all right, is this the one? And they might as well have watched Dumb and Dumber. Like, it was just not a movie that was going to give you the plan. It wasn't a movie that was going to really...
People were asking,
it wasn't a story
be involved with the multiverse. How do you think this is going to involve the multiverse? And this is the thing. And like, I always come back to this. Spider-Man No Way Home kind of was the thing where it was a great movie, but it offset because I see a lot of people coming out with my take now where, Spider-Man No Way Home isn't good until the third act. Yeah, told you, because it's built off nostalgia. It is, dude. Like, I love it. It's a great movie, but without Toby, without Andrew, that movie's dog. Like, it's just, and that's my opinion. And I think because you built it up, and then you have Doctor Strange, which was not a multiverse of madness, and like it shouldn't have been named that. And it should have been the introductory. It should have been like Doctor Strange, the beginning of the multiverse, something like that. And then in the other film, it's just like it's honestly what's going on is they're giving a lot of leeway to these directors, and the directors are putting their touch to it, which I love, and I can enjoy on that aspect. But I think again, it's not creating that direction, which that I can agree with. I want at least a direction narratively with characters. If my character is going through something in the movie and they come out learning from it, That's great. And then we pick up, but like with Doctor Strange, what did he learn from that? What was that whole experience about? And he ends up with a third eye out of nowhere. And then in the after credit scene, he's fine, And then like with Thor, and that's what I like about Thor is like I feel like his Jane dying in his arms affected him, but in a way that it hasn't affected him where he's sad. He accepts like death now with like, I think like, hey, it's okay. It's okay to have loss and that's with Star-Lord. It's okay to lose. It's rather have the pain of loss than no pain at all, And I love that message. Oh my gosh.
And he learns so much throughout the course of this film too. And he winds up with basically an adopted daughter and Gore's daughter after he sacrifices
That's
himself,
his actual daughter too.
I wanted to ask that. Did you like that?
At first, no.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to grow on me the more and more I rewatch Love and Thunder. But at the same time, I was also like, first time I watch it, I'm thinking, this is interesting. Where is this going?
I liked it in theory because we did see in the flashback of him with Jane, he was looking to be a father. Like he wanted to take the next steps towards that. So they did set it up, but the execution of it is where I didn't like it as much.
Well, I think it's more like, how is it going to go on from here? Like, how are they going to handle it from here? Because I think what they'll probably do is they'll do a time skip. She'll be older, or maybe she'll age quicker. And then they'll have that kind of be the thing. And then like, it will be the teenage years and him dealing with that. I can see Taika having a ball with him being a dad and dealing with the, like, just the jokes. I can already see it happening. But I think, and then after that, it will be about her going on her own, probably, and then if we get a Thor 6, it will be kind of back to that. I don't see him doing more than 5, though. I think if anything, it'll be setting up her to kind of do her own thing, and then we'll have an Avengers, and he'll probably sacrifice himself in the Avengers, or something like that. But I mean, as long as Chris Hemsworth is happy playing the role, and this kind of plays into the next point, like his future, like if he's happy doing it, I am not opposed to it because I think he plays the role very well. I think Ragnarok was the point where I feel like he finally got it, and then like through both Infinity War and Endgame, he really built on that, and he really like helped evolve the character so much more. And then Love and Thunder, this really feels like the first time where Thor is like fully, realized. And he's still learning a lot, as you mentioned. Yeah. Jane Foster sacrificing herself at the end, basically. They have a whole, and this is probably my favorite part of the film, honestly, where Taika had to have so much fun with it. They go to Gore's planet, and it's an entire black and white sequence.
Yeah,
this must have been a filmmaker's paradise to be able to do this, and it looked so cool. Some of the little colors peeking out here and there. It was just,
because of the lightning. Every time the lightning happened, the color would bleed through, and I was like, "Oh, that's sick."
It was beautiful. It looks so good. And then they go to the final battle where Thor is rallying up all those kids in a true School of Rock moment. He's teaching them how to use the god
for a limited time only.
For a limited time only. I'm giving you the powers of Thor.
Hinted though that made him weaker, or like kind of so like there's a reason for him not to just bring that out all the time. Just like something, just like and obviously he like, and then that's the reason he loses against Gore, and that's why it's so important for Mighty Thor to show up.
I mean, Thor is incredibly muscular too, so I feel like like it wouldn't surprise me him losing, like he wouldn't lose that power. But
that also goes back to how much of a comedy it is, right? Because that girl with the stuffed bunny, also had the powers of Thor.
It's just like going around like with a lasso and everything like that. Yeah. We're also introduced. We're introduced to Heimdall's son in this, who likes to call himself. I know, like they were calling him Astrid, and like he was going by a different name.
Axel.
That was it. And then Korg was like, Thor, he wants to be called asshole, so call him that. So great, so great. But great. So Jane's sacrifice easily was, in my mind, the most emotional part of the story, and her dying in his arms just got me.
Well, and you want to know how a normal Marvel movie would have ended? They used the wish to cure Jane.
Yeah,
that's how it ends.
absolutely.
You know?
I'm sure that was a big criticism for a lot of angry Twitter fans online. They were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, how come they didn't use the wish to bring Jane back?" Well, she goes into Valhalla in the post-credit scene, so there is, and she meets Idris Elba there. So there's certainly, I don't want to say it's likely. I think it's very, very, very far unlikely that Natalie Portman wants to do another one of these. But I mean, you never know. You never know. I
think she'd come back for Thor coming to Valhalla. She'd come back for like that, for like a scene of him coming and seeing all of his family.
A scene. Yeah. But like
setting up Thor's death.
Yeah, 100% they are. That's why.
Maybe. Song?
Yeah, they're 100% setting up him dying. That's why they introduced Valhalla. Yeah. Whether that's in the next film or not, like, I'm not sure. But it would have to probably be his own film, I would think, unless they do it in a team up movie and then like show Valhalla, him going into Valhalla as an after credit scene.
Right. Ryan really wants to know where this phase is going. And I'm thinking Wars, man. Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Or Kane. Sorry.
Kang the Conqueror. He's going to be a big baddie. I would love to see Dr. Doom come in and be a big baddie. I'm hoping we get some Fantastic Four casting news soon. Like, because tonight. You think so?
I think tonight.
I'm sitting on the edge of my seat, man. I mean, I think it's more likely we're going to get an announcement of Deadpool 3 at
we already kind of got it announced though, right?
They
have a director.
It's been speculated. Yeah, Sean Levy's directing it.
So excited.
So
Sean Levy did a lot of the supernatural stuff, right? Or am I high?
He did. So
he directed a couple episodes.
Yeah, Sean Levy did Free Guy and the Adam Project, and this is his third Ryan Reynolds
I'm pretty
project.
sure he's been doing some Supernatural because I binged Supernatural and like his name would pop up, like directed by Sean Levy. So I think he like directed a couple episodes. And I was
growing up, he also directed all the Night at the Museum movies, which I love.
What?
Yeah, for real?
I didn't know that. He did.
Hype.
Look it up. Yeah, Sean Levy is the director of the Night at the Museum films. So.
Honestly, solid trilogy. Such a solid trilogy.
It's so good. Could you imagine Ben Stiller in the MCU somewhere?
Who would he play? I'd love
Talk about a comeback. Talk about a comeback right there. But yeah, folks, Thor: Love and Thunder, great film. I personally would put it above Ragnarok, but I mean, Ben and I feel like both are in the minority. Zach thinks Ragnarok is better. Luke thinks Ragnarok is certainly better. Ragnarok is his favorite.
Yeah, that's fine. Like 100. And I feel like Ragnarok was a very nostalgic film because, like, that's the movie before Infinity War. There was so much MCU hype at that point. Like, it was nuts. It was a great time. So I feel like that plays a part in it too. But it's a solid film, 100%.
I freaking adore Ragnarok too. So to say Love and Thunder is better, like, I think it speaks volumes for me.
Yeah, I'm just glad you guys had such a good time with it. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I liked it a lot. I thought it was good, but I'm glad you guys like got what you wanted.
It was like after Doctor Strange, man, I was looking for anything. I was like, please, please.
Were you looking for Ms. Marvel? Were you looking for Ms. Marvel to have a good time?
I didn't know I
was. Dude, like a lot of people are falling in love with this series. It's got like a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes right now.
Crazy.
Yeah. Zach, I don't think this is my favorite MCU TV series. I certainly would not put this over Loki or Moon Knight for me, but it's up there. It's up there in my top 5 for me. I think it's about equal with WandaVision as far as I see it.
Second.
Really?
Yeah, after WandaVision. Yeah.
Wow. That's
not without its faults, but I think it stuck the landing the best since WandaVision.
Wow. Yeah. I feel like, Ben, Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go.
No, I was going to say, Ben, like, it feels like to me Ms. Marvel has the best bookending of episodes for any Marvel series. It has a phenomenal premiere with an Avenger Con, which I dug the crap out of. And they had an Avenger Con.
And if you guys ever play the Marvels game, that's good.
Oh, it's
sick.
So cool. It's so cool.
Yeah.
They held it in like a high school gym or something like that, which is so strange to me because I feel like that would have been a much bigger, like they would put it in a building like the San Diego Convention Center. They would put it in D23's building. But no, high school gym.
This is like one of the things too where I feel like the casting is just like it's like comparative to, I mean, not super comparative to Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, but like just her as like a person, she's a huge Marvel head too. And like she's so knowledgeable. She knows how to represent the character, and as a young actress, that's huge.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so
and
big.
that's so as like someone who's invested into this universe, that means so much to me. And so that's why like it's just like again, the show is just amazing.
For me, she's the new Tom Holland.
Oh yeah, she's. I don't want to say like she's comparable to Tom Holland because I want to say she's the one and only Iman Vellani. But course, she like that's something that I've been missing out of a lot of like these new casting choices. She feels like she's so excited to be on set. Like this feels like a dream come true for her, and I cannot like. I mean, it's similar also to Simu Liu's reaction to being cast as Shang-Chi. This just feels like such a crazy ass dream for her, and she's getting to live it out. And
she cosplayed as the character when she was young. You seen those pictures and stuff?
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
She manifested it. Absolutely,
and it's so weird to think of like the MCU's been around her whole like she grew up with it. Like literally, like it was around when she was born. Like like she's never been without like the way that I have never been without Star Wars in my life. She's never been without the MCU in her life.
So awesome. So awesome for her. I love the casting of her family as well. This might be one of the best Marvel families I think we've ever gotten. Like aside from when we get the Fantastic Four and when we get, the everything else, Guardians of the Galaxy also I would consider a family, but just those parents, that father especially is such a gigantic geek. Like I loved watching him so much. I love the brother as well. I just thought his overprotective nature was hysterical. I love the scene where she is at a coffee house.
Oh, I think he froze.
Yeah, I think he froze. I was like, I'm not hearing anything.
The coffee house? Yeah, no, I thought the family dynamic was fantastic. I love the father and the mother. I love that they were never villainized, and when it seemed like they were gonna be, it was normal. Like it was very relatable stuff.
Yeah. And that's just important because, like, again, I can't think of any and I think the Fantastic Four will have that type of dynamic too. But like, it's important to have that family dynamic in this universe. And it's like, I kind of hope we lean toward some more kind of civilian type content in the MCU too. Like, I feel like the Marvel should take like an office type show that's set in the MCU, like just something, like something like that would be cool. Have it be a one and done though. Like you have to kind of nail the idea. Oh, he's gone. All right, this is our show now.
Yeah, we're taking over Zack's channel.
You still have a Zack, so there we go. But so it's just like I feel like that's so important to have, and I feel like this is like kind of having a foot in that circle that where we could potentially lean into that, in the future. But Ms. Marvel episode 1, 2, 6 were great. The writers called, what was it? The episodes? And I feel like that's how you pace it though, right, Ryan? It's like you want to have a strong pilot, then episode 2 you can kind of like lay back a little bit, and then have a great mid-series, and then have a great finale. Which honestly, like, always good to set it up like that. For Moon.
Okay, let's try this again. Can you guys see? Are we good now?
I think you're okay. You're a little glitchy.
Okay. Let's see. Well, whoops. It's all falling apart, folks.
Oh no! Right when we get to Miss Marvel, at least we got the Thor stuff in, right?
Let me see if I can fix it.
I know my camera in the beginning too. It was my lens. My lens was.
I have no idea what's happening right now. Miss Marvel episode 1, 2, and 6 were great, but the writers called in the dump truck for episodes 3, 4, and especially 5. I wouldn't say they called in the dump trucks for episodes 3, 4, and 5. I definitely think they were the weaker episodes, basically because they took Kamala out of Jersey City, and they told a history lesson, which I thought was great in Pakistan and about the partition and stuff like that, which I didn't know anything about at the time of the show. So it was cool to learn about that, but it kind of did derail the series for me. So I don't think they called in the dump truck, so to speak, but I can see what you're saying. You were disappointed with those episodes.
Yeah.
I thought the villains also they were introduced in those episodes, and then they were kind of like quickly tossed aside after those episodes were done. And I thought that caused a big villain problem for the show. Because what did they really do? What were they there for? They were trying to open a different dimension to get back to their world, which never ended up happening.
Well, I think it's like
I don't know why they even had those villains in the show to begin with.
Yeah.
And Luke said he might head out. Ryan also said Thor 4. Not really. It's mid though. Yeah, that's fair, man. Let's see if there's anyone we missed when we were
hold up
taking any of these questions.
Okay, am I here?
Let's see here. Did we miss one? Nope, we saw that one. And Flick, that's funny. We got that one. Oh, Luke Ponto, was Thor just becoming the Wicked Witch of the West? Why not riding on Stormbreaker? Yeah, that's what I said, man. That's when I figured this was gonna be like a full-on screwball comedy, is when I saw that scene of Thor's introduction. Luke Ponto, sorry, Zach, but I prefer the Black Phone just a little bit more than Nope. That's fair, man. I haven't seen the Black Phone, but I saw Nope, and I'll check out the Black Phone eventually. Ryan says, for me, I only need one trailer. Yeah, one trailer. Sometimes I prefer more than one, but when a movie is really mysterious and I don't want to know anything else, sometimes one trailer is more than enough. Are you guys back? I can see you guys.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I've been talking back and forth. Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
We're gonna do this one more time.
I was just over here like
9 lives.
Zach, just come over to my house. The internet's solid.
Go to my channel.
There we go, dude.
Thank you, Zach, for covering for me in the chat right there and catching up with everybody there. But God, what was I saying before my internet crapped out on me? We were talking about Ms. Marvel, right?
Yeah, the family dynamic and how great the family.
Yeah. So the only thing that I felt was inconsistent about Ms. Marvel was the mother and her reaction to her becoming the superhero and everything like that, because she was like, oh, I freaking hate the fact that you're into all these superheroes and all that stuff. But then once she pretty much comes out and comes clean and says, hey, I'm the Nightlight and all that stuff, which is interesting, an interesting name. She's suddenly super supportive, and she's suddenly super on dick with it. And I'm like, there's a little thing missing there. What happened?
Yeah.
What ticks for you? Is it just because she's your daughter? You know, like.
Well, I think it goes into that parent thing where it's like you don't want to promote something that your kid can never become, you know, or like you like, and again, which is pretty like. It's a selfish way of thinking, right? Any parent that's like, oh, you'll never become that. They're trying in the aspect of it, they're trying to protect their kid and make sure that they end up okay and take off in life. So like when it's a superhero type thing, you're like, oh, dude, there's like no possible way that this can happen, you know? So it's like, yeah, I feel like that's why there's such a big switch there, you know? Because like, oh, wow, this is possible. Oh, 100%. Now you can accomplish anything, you know? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think it also had to do with two. I agree, though, it felt rushed, but I think it also had to do with the fact that they did establish that her mother and her grandma, like they had a very off relationship as well. The mother had a very rough relationship with her own mother, and I think they established that, and they kind of showed that like she wasn't going to repeat history by trying to make her daughter, you know, something you want to be, and was just kind of like, I accept you. If this is what you want to be, accept, because I don't want you to end up in my mother. It's kind of how I took it a little bit.
Yeah. No, I get that. Ryan, I don't know if you said Ryan's comment in here. Ms. Marvel episodes 1, 2, and 6 were great. The writers called in the dump truck for 3, 4, and 5. And I'm like, I mean, episode 5 was a good flashback, but it like wasn't the good penultimate episode that I was looking for, you know? It wasn't like the Game of Thrones penultimate, like, you know, before the season finale and everything like that. But I thought that was going to be Marvel's tradition, the penultimate episode. But in any case, we got some big reveals. To talk about at the end of Ms. Marvel. Carol Danvers, of course, pops up in the post credits. Just said, oh, hey, we're also making a team up. The Marvels coming out next July. I thought that was fun. I mean, you know, Brie Larson was her typical, you know, stone-faced, stone-cold self. But other than that, I mean,
Great
it's
new
like,
suit, though.
What's that?
I like the new suit, the new Captain Marvel suit she was wearing.
Yeah.
Looks good for sure. And I love how she's like just thrust into the closet and everything like that, and it's just like, But I'm curious to see how they explain Iman Vellani becoming Brie Larson, though, like just in a flash.
See, I don't think she became Brie Larson. I took it as they swapped places.
Huh?
Because Carol
That
Danvers,
could be interesting.
Because if she had looked in a mirror and saw her own face and kind of freaked out, I would have taken it as she became her. But she looked at a picture of herself and then saw that there were posters of her all over the room. Mm-hmm. So the way she reacted kind of came across to me as like she realized, oh, I'm in like a crazy fan's house. Like, how did I get here? Where am I? What's going on?
What the heck is going on? Why are all these posters of me up on this wall? But
yeah,
it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah.
I don't know how excited I am for the Marvels. I don't know if you guys are like as hyped for it as like some other people are, but
I am after this series.
Yeah, it should be a fun team up movie. I'm actually most excited to see Monica Rambeau, Tiana Paris again.
Same, 100%. I love her character.
She's gonna kick so much ass, especially after WandaVision. Like, she's
great.
Oh yeah, but the big thing that lit Twitter on fire and probably lit my internet on fire as well is the mutations. The mutations line that the kid Bruno, I'm sure, was like, oh man, I can't say anything about this. He was probably trying so hard to keep that in
for like 2 years.
Now finally, here it is out in the open and everything. And it's official now. Cat's out of the bag. Mutants are coming.
Nuts.
Crazy. I freaked out.
It feels like only yesterday that this masterwork was put out. Days of Future Past. Love this film, but I mean, now the MCU is getting their own take on it. I'm sure we'll be getting casting news pretty soon. We're getting an animated X-Men series.
We are,
as it was revealed yesterday. And some people actually got to see the first episode at the Comic-Con, and I'm like, are you serious? You're seeing the first episode of X-Men 97 and freshman year and all that stuff, and I'm like, come on, guys.
Yeah. I hear Spider-Man freshman years kind of like changed a lot though, since it was like fully announced, which is it's a little bit of disappointment, but also I think it'll still be good.
Dude, I'm hopeful. I'm very, very hopeful. But
like to me, the animated stuff doesn't really matter all that much to like lack of better word. Like I'm not a big animated TV show guy, so I don't usually like What If. Like I slugged through What If just because it was
liked What If.
Marvel, but and there was some good episodes in it. But it like there were also some episodes where I was like, I definitely didn't need to get up at 6 a.m. to watch this. Like the Thor one.
Season 2's pilot. Season 2's pilot is another Captain Carter adventure too. So we're getting her back. We're getting Haley Atwell back, and I'm so stoked for that because that first episode of season 1 was so good.
It was sick. I love like the Nazi Germany like history, like, and that's why Captain America is such I just like that era, and like seeing them fight is just so dope, and like it was so cool. I mean, I know it's not going to be like that for the pilot for the next season, but nuts, dude. It's gonna be sick.
Yeah. I'm curious like how they linked the Marvels, the mutants, like why reveal it in Ms. Marvel? Like what, Ben, why do you think this reveal was saved for this show specifically?
I mean, honestly, I think it's probably because a lot of things are in motion, especially in that we kind of talked about how I was thinking that too with the releases of Logan and Deadpool on Disney Plus. But I think like they are finally getting some momentum with putting these things out. So they're like, okay, we need to throw something in to like reveal this, because like we need to have talks of it. So then when it does happen, it's not like all of a sudden, right? Ease into it, get people ready, because if not, it's like it's all about understanding, because like the Marvel universe is confusing as it is to people who don't watch it, right? So I feel like they're just trying to organically get people ready for when they release these properties.
It's confusing to the people who don't read the comics either. Like I'm not overly familiar, Zach, with Kamala Khan, but I don't know if she's like classified as a mutant or what.
Inhuman? right?
She's an Inhuman, yeah.
She's an
In the
Inhuman.
comics.
That was it. That was it. So
Yeah.
she's probably gonna be experiencing like some stuff with Black Bolt, Anson Mount from the Multiverse of Madness. He might be returning. That might be fun. Hopefully with a mouth this time.
I don't know. I think they may have had to do a coin, or not even a coin flip, but they may have had to choose between: are we going to do Inhumans or are we going to do mutants? Because you can confuse the general audience very fast by having two of the groups.
That's a good point.
And they also had a really failed series of Inhumans that
they did, dude.
So maybe they just want to avoid that word, and so they decided, well, Miss Marvel, we want to do Miss Marvel. She's technically an Inhuman, but you know what? Let's make her a mutant.
Let's make her a mutant. Yeah, let's switch up the roles. Anything goes. It's our universe now. So,
yeah.
And
mutants are way more popular than Inhumans, anyways.
Yeah.
A Marvel Studios X-Men film is gonna make bank once it comes out, especially if they cast the right people. Like if they put Taron Egerton in the Wolverine role, like I think they're going to.
That would be sick.
I mean, no, think about it. The connection between him and Hugh Jackman,
Eddie the Eagle.
Yeah,
they're such good friends in real life, though, too. And Taron Egerton has done some musical stuff, just like Hugh Jackman got his start in the musical theater world. So I think he's
actually the height, so very close to the height that Wolverine's supposed to be. I mean, I think Wolverine's supposed to be like 5'2", and I think he's like 5'8" or something like that. So it's he's a lot smaller because Hugh Jackman, I believe, is 6'1". So it's he's a smaller dude, and that's nice to have too, because it's you want to have. It's important to have all demographics on the screen, and be represented. And it's you got Thor, who's huge, all these people. I got some short kings who are my friends, bro, who are gonna love this Wolverine.
Well, Wolverines are small predators, man. I mean, he's got to be a smaller dude. So I mean, it'll be interesting to see who they bring in this time around. I think Hugh Jackman's gonna stick to his word and stay retired as Wolverine. Unfortunately, because he was so good in Logan. I mean, he was good in all the other ones, but Logan was such a perfect send-off for him that it would kind of tarnish
Throw a couple
the
more
legacy.
Zeros on. You never know, dude.
Yeah.
You never know with the Secret Wars coming on. I mean, you never know. You never know.
I feel like it would have been more possible if Fox didn't get bought out by Disney. I feel like then Ryan Reynolds would have worked with him to get him back as Wolverine for a Deadpool movie, but I think since that has happened, I think that's out the door. I don't think that's possible. Yeah.
Apparently, Disney's keeping hands off. Apparently, they got no limits. They're letting them write and do whatever they want for this.
Kevin Feige exhausted. He's bro, I'm done. I've done my work. I just got back from a cruise where we planned 10 years of this shit. Do whatever you want. Oh God,
apparently, back when Civil War was coming out, he was telling people he had an idea for movies that go through the year 2028, which is ridiculous. We're in 2022 now, so we're about at the halfway point of when he said that. It's going to be interesting to see how.
When did they buy Fox?
They bought Fox end of
2018,
end of 2019, I think.
Was it? Because I remember when they bought Fox, Kevin Feige came out and said that he's got his 5-year plan, because everyone was like, when are they going to do the X-Men? When are the mutants? And he said, I have my 5-year plan. I'm
Fantastic
finishing out my 5-year
Four
plan, and then
people are begging for a good Fantastic Four movie because we haven't gotten one.
But we're getting to the end of that 5 years now.
Shut your mouth. The Fantastic Four movies are great, and I will live by that. I would die by that.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, with Michael Chiklis as the Thing, I mean, he was probably one of the only good parts of that. Chris Evans was fun as the Human Torch and all that, but
Jessica Alba as Mrs. Oh my God, a babe, my childhood crush.
Now those ones I know I haven't seen since 2007.
There you go. Oh, just wait till they cast what's his guts as the Silver Surfer. What's his guts? Ryan Gosling. I'd love to see Ryan Gosling play that part. Get a big name. That seems to be their strategy for Marvel villains now. Bring in the big Hollywood names like a Christian Bale, I don't know.
I love Ryan Gosling, and I'm watching The Gray Man probably tonight. But
it's fun.
Yeah, I just feel like with him though, I can't see him in a serious role, especially after the what is it, the Nice Guys, all that. I just like I mean he was good in
Barbie.
yeah, like he was
He
good
was
in
great in
what is it?
Barbie.
What's the movie with Harrison Ford?
Oh, Blade Runner
Blade
2049.
Runner. He was great in that, but like even then, like I just feel like he doesn't have the depth to like give us like a tonal, like super serious guy like the Silver Surfer is kind of supposed to be, you know?
Yeah. I mean, hopefully we get some casting announcements tonight.
I hope so.
Hopefully we'll see Ryan Reynolds come out on stage in the Deadpool garb, and I'm sure my buddy Leo, shout out to you, buddy. You're at Hall H as we speak, as we're streaming. He's probably going to be losing his mind. I mean, Alyssa from Mainly Movies is there. I saw a few other people were there. It's just crazy how they get in and all that. Like,
have either of you ever been to Comic-Con?
No, I'd love to. It's a bucket list item for me though.
Yeah.
So I'd love to get a press
We're not
pass.
far from San Diego. Like we're
about 8 hours away, 8-hour drive away from San Diego. So yeah, just camp out in Hall H all day. Because apparently if you get a seat, like you can, just stay there and not lose your spot.
Oh wow.
It's just I guess that's how it works. So but in any case, gentlemen, I think that's going to about do it. Thor, Love and Thunder, and Ms. Marvel both in the books, and we're getting a whole new slate of Marvel projects very, very soon.
Groot, I am Groot. I'm pumped. Let's go, little baby Groot, dude.
That's the series of shorts.
Yes,
you're
gonna be pink Marvel, dude.
Forget about Fantastic Four.
I am Groot.
X-Men who? What?
Yeah. Forget about Deadpool. Who's that?
Nah,
I want more baby Groot shorts.
I want more baby Groot, dude.
That's our answer.
It's peak, bro.
That's our answer to Pixar's Doug Days. Think about that for a second.
This is great, though.
It is. Doug Days is very, very cute. But, like, is there going to be substance in I Am Groot, though? Like, probably
that
not.
homie's got depth. All right. Vin Diesel's got depth.
I watched the Olaf.
He's got family.
That's it.
He's got
I just watched the Olaf ones.
The Olaf ones are great though. The way they're structured,
movies.
The way they're structured is honestly so good. Because that scene in Frozen 2 was one of the best scenes.
Yeah. Oh, where he summarizes the whole movie. Yeah, no, it's so good. But I mean, I Am Groot. You got She-Hulk Attorney at Law coming out next month, premiering. That should be a lot of fun.
It's a surprise.
I know Milne is hyped for it.
It looks fun. I don't care what anyone says. I think it's going to surprise.
Yeah. No, it's Tatiana Maslany is in it too, so I think that's a good casting choice. I remember seeing her in
coming back.
Yep. And Mark Ruffalo's coming in. It's going to be 9 episodes, just like WandaVision was. So
let's go.
Hopefully it'll surprise.
Episodes. The 6 episodes have got to stop.
It does.
I
would rather have 9 30-minute episodes than deal with this shit, dude.
Well, I mean, that's another thing, guys. Do you think that we're gonna get like a second season of some of these other miniseries like Moon Knight or Ms. Marvel or
Moon Knight? We're for sure getting. There's no shot that they don't either do another series or another season or a movie. Like he's coming back and
Moon Knight deserves his own movie. Like I don't care what anybody says. Oscar Isaac
I think what they're doing is they're using Disney Plus for origin stories, and then they're gonna have their own movies. Like that's what I think they're trying to do to avoid the whole origin movie bull crap. That like. I mean, Shang-Chi's different.
Yeah, Shang-Chi got his own origin movie, and he got his own theatrical release, and that was one of the best Phase 4 projects. It's number 2.
But with that, I feel like with characters because the thing about Shang-Chi that's also great too is they go into like that alternate world and all that stuff. Like there's so much more there than just him fighting people, But with like Ms. Marvel's great, but like as a movie, I don't think that would have been as successful. There's a lot of pressure for the box office right now, especially with Thor not doing as good as it should be. Like they're trying to like.
Well,
it
is going against the Minions, so
Yeah, I know, dude. The unit Minions, it's passing.
It's almost like
Titanic.
It's almost like they're trying to be the Alvin and the Chipmunks movies coming out, competing with Star Wars.
But if you want to look at it too, like as crazy as it sounds to say, Thor has never been a $1 billion franchise. Minions have made $1 billion before.
Not wrong.
and it's a freaking sin that people are
peak cinema.
It's a sin that they're rewarding the studio with the most annoying characters of all time. Like
middle-aged women love them.
I mean, not to get too off topic here, but the Minions are Illumination Entertainment's equivalent to Mickey Mouse. Like, think about that for a minute. That's like, it's just insane to me.
We love it.
They're money makers. They're money makers. You know,
they're more like Scrat from Ice Age. They're not Mickey Mouse. They're not Mickey Mouse.
Except Scrat actually gives you captivating space.
Oh my god. There we go, man. Oh, did his mic glitch out? Did he unplug his mic? He unplugged his mic on accident. He was so mad about the Minions, he unplugged his mic. Oh, and now it's
the Minions got you again.
They got you, dude. They heard you talking crap. Oh, you got it. You got it.
Okay, we good now?
There we go.
Okay. All right. Well, on that note, folks, Zach, why don't you tell people where we can find you before this podcast goes too before it goes too ridiculous?
Yeah, you can find me at Zack Milne Talks Movies on YouTube. Zack Milne Talks Movies, I believe that's my handle on Twitter and Instagram. And the Zack Milne Talks Movies podcast is now available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Samsung Podcasts, iHeartRadio. Anywhere you get your podcasts, you can find the Zack Milne Talks Movies podcast. So go get it today.
Heck yeah, dude. Yeah, go check out that podcast. It's great. He posts really awesome reviews. So much fun to listen to. Ben, where can we find you?
Sir, my name is Ben James _YT on mostly everything. I am mostly uploading on TikTok right now, but I will be making a comeback to YouTube shortly. I'm doing another move here soon. So
heck yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And avocado prices are nuts right now. So watch out, you guys. So, yeah.
Oh my God. Full circle. I thought you were about to say it's Morbin time.
It's Morbin time, dude.
Oh, my word. Yeah. So go ahead and check out their channels and subscribe to them because they absolutely deserve it. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you enjoyed the discussion here today, we're going to be doing a lot more live streaming. That's going to be my goal going through the summertime for sure.
Okay.
I want to try and I'm thinking about maybe reacting to the Hall H Marvel announcements and talking about that with y'all.
Reaction videos do great.
Yeah, they do. They do. And I will also be I'll be continuing my Lord of the Rings playlist in the build up to Rings of Power. Return of the King should be coming very soon. You can check out the first 2 reviews if you haven't already. What do we got next weekend? What, DC League of Super Pets? Is that the big release?
Are you seeing it? Are you doing it? Are you doing the Lord's work?
I mean, The Rock is in it, so I might have to, just because that dude's like my idol. But other than that, it's like, I mean, guys, you want me to review Paws of Fury?
But dude, you also got Bullet Train and Prey.
You do have Bullet Train, yeah, and like I've heard really rave reviews about Prey as well. So I'm
so excited.
I'm hoping that that's as good as people are saying that it is. And Bullet Train looks freaking dope. I can't wait to see Bad Bunny in action. You also have whatchamacallit? You got the first trailer for Halloween Ends that just hit. Got a lot of stuff going through the end of the year. You got the Avatar trailer playing in every single theater right now, like, trying to get people to give James Cameron their money again, like it's 1997.
What did you think of the Rings of Power trailer?
It looks okay. I mean, I'm not like overly excited for that series as much as I am for like House of the Dragon, for example. And that's another thing. I do want to finish Game of Thrones and review those final 2 seasons for you guys before House of the Dragon comes out. I haven't forgotten that I stopped at season 6. So
my goodness, man, when do you sleep?
When do I sleep?
I'm gonna play. I'm seeing 50 movies this weekend. I've also got Netflix shows to watch,
and I got my day job. It's crazy, man. But
wow.
I'll sleep when I'm dead. We'll see how that goes. But hit that subscribe button and hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed all the antics and the debates and my ferocious technical difficulties on my end. But other than that, folks, it's been fun. See you guys for the next one.